Hi, Carl Stefano here. I've got a tune here that wasn't planning on playing. Never played it before. Didn't have it on any list or anything. But I've spoken in other videos before about how songs come to me whether I want them to or not. They just come along. And this happened recently. My wife and I spend a lot of time in the kitchen because we love to cook. All of our grandparents were Italian immigrants on both sides of the family, and all of them had big families, so we have lots of aunts and uncles, and our grandparents and our aunts and uncles, many of them were great gardeners and great cooks, and so we learned so much from them. And we have this tradition of Italian cooking that we've carried on. So we're in the kitchen a lot, and I do things that irritate my wife, and especially in the kitchen. I'm not doing them on purpose, but we're different. I'm kind of a slob. I leave things laying around, and she's very neat and very orderly and organized, and she likes everything in its place. So obviously that causes problems sometimes. Those two things don't mix very well. So we have scrub brush and scrubbing pads that she likes to keep in the bottom of the dish drain that's in the sink. And I don't like to keep them there because they get covered up by the dishes, and then they stay wet and they're hard to get to. So when I'm there at the sink working, I like to put them up on the back of the sink. So I had them up there, and she came around the corner and went, oh, only you would move that brush and those scrubbing pads up on the sink. Only you would do that. She just was going crazy on that. And I looked at her, and I kind of, I might have said, guilty as charged or something like that. But, and I didn't tell her about the next thought I had, but in my mind, only you. Hey, there's a song by that name, And I started singing it in my mind. Da, 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 I didn't know it. I mean, I knew the melody, but I didn't know the words, except I knew the only you part. And so I had never played it before. So I couldn't get this song out of my head, though. So I looked it up, and sure enough, the Platters had a big hit with it in 1955. They were the first ones to record it. It was actually written by a gentleman named Samuel Ram, R-A-M, and he had the nickname of Buck. And I learned, hadn't heard of him before, but I learned that he was a big promoter of the groups of the 50s, especially the Platters was a special group to him, I believe. And he promoted them and helped them. He wrote music for them. And he, according to what I read, he actually set their style to some extent. He influenced the way they sang, and maybe he made the arrangements for them or something. So he influenced them and other groups of that era. And so a pretty interesting fellow. You could look that up if you want to learn more about him and his influence on the music of the 50s and 60s. And he wrote other music. He had quite a list of songs, and I recognize two that I really like: I'll Be Home for Christmas and Twilight Time, which I will probably put on my YouTube channel if I live long enough. Anyway, the Platters were a great group. Tony Williams, the lead singer, just an absolute talent. And they, it was tough for groups like that to make it back then. And they really did a great job. They had a lot of good hits, and I really enjoyed their music back then. Only You. Only you can make this world seem right. Only you can make the darkness bright. Only you and you alone can thrill me like you do, and fill my heart with love for only you. Only you could make this change in me, for it's true, you are my destiny. When you hold my hand, I understand the magic that you do. You're my dream come true, my one and only you. Only you could move that scrub brush and those scrubbing pads.